All right, we are on to video number 4 of how to create more in less time. And in this stage of our journey of embodying power, we are talking about attunement. And this is a beautiful stage because this is where we really begin to dance with the universe, to put, manifesting our inner transformation out in the world through our actions, and then coming back and seeing the result that is created, seeing the feedback from the universe and from the people around us and within our relationships. So, welcome back. This is uh, an exciting part of the journey. So, we talked about how embodying your power begins with a soul inspired decision to give yourself what you want. So, if you've done that, or if you're thinking about that decision, this is where you really get to understand the process of how you will create it once you make that decision. And then, if you continue watching, you'll learn a place where you can receive incredible support within community and support from myself as you are going through this journey. All right, so we talked about decision and embodiment as being the components of the first stage of creating a new goal, which is the stage of inner transformation. And then we talked about manifesting that inner transformation out into the world through inspired and innovative action. And we specifically looked at leadership and intuition as bringing about that inspired and innovative action. Now we are moving on to the third pillar of attunement, or the third stage, where we really start to attune and refine the actions that we're taking and making more micro decisions based on the feedback that we're getting and the results that we're getting. So we're going to talk specifically about actions and how to relate with those actions, as well as rhythm. And this is where the relationship and understanding that we have of time comes in. Okay. So first of all, this is one of the first things that I learned as a coach from John Patrick Morgan. And if you're familiar with the being movement and Steve Hardison, where being creates your results. And the more I lean into this truth, the more beautiful things I create. The goal that I decide on is really a decision to create my being. We only ever have the present moment and who you are being in the present moment. So that's all that really matters. Results are awesome. But if you ever get too attached to results, I want you to return to this fact that we only ever have the present moment. And what is most important is who you are being in that present moment. So that's like your state of being, how you are feeling, the embodiment, how you are treating yourself if you're in the yuck and the shadow stuff, how you are treating yourself when you are in the joy and excitement, right? But in the end, your being creates your results. And when you desire to create you what you want in the way that you want it, to not put yourself in a box, to create your business and your life on your terms, then you're forging your own path. And that means that the how is created from your desire, not from somebody else's step-by-step instructions. It is created from your desire. Okay, so let's talk about action, because the action is now becomes the how, right? So with action, you are putting inspired ideas into action to test the waters. And I say it like this because I want you to understand these important components of action. First of all, when we see that your being creates your result, you can see that the action that you take is an overt declaration of who you are. So when you are creating an identity of somebody who has your desire, has your dream, and has your goal, then every action that you take comes from that person. And it's that transmission, that manifestation of here's who I am, and here is how I'm declaring that in the world through my action. So it's an overt declaration of who you are creating yourself to be. The second component of action is I want you to have this sense of playfulness and detachment and creativity from your actions. It's when we become forceful and controlling that action becomes exhausting and not fun. So your actions really are, and it's experimentation. I spent years in science, and I studied chemistry in my master's degree, and I was in biology. We did tons of experiments, right? The results always inform us of something. So you're always going to get information that's going to help you no matter what result you get. So I invite you to treat every action that you take as an experiment, not as the end all be all. This has to work kind of thing. And then the last piece is that when you are in action, you are dancing with the universe. You are putting stuff out there and seeing what you get back. It's a beautiful flowing process. Okay, now let's talk about rhythm. So rhythm is the other side of that pillar of attunement. And rhythm for me is really important. I think for everybody it is. But this is where the work that we do, where our transformational journey and our connection to our power to create in our business is not just about our business, it's about our entire life. To become leaders in our business means we become leaders in our home, in our head, in our relationships, all of our relationships. And this relates to our entire life and the rhythm of our entire life. So, a lot of what I do in the rhythms in my life, when I want to really tap into a deep level of congruence and power and connection to my spiritual power, to that power of mother, there are things that I do throughout my day when I am not working. So that when I do come and I sit in front of this computer and I talk to you, that I am deeply connected and I am present and I am with you. All right. So the components of rhythm are your external actions. So the actions that you take in business, like what time am I working? Like right now, for me to be here and sitting and recording this video on the week between Christmas and New Year's, what I created was leadership in my relationships with my family, and all of the kids who were home are now at the park with my partner. So I can have a moment to be here with you and connecting with you. Other part of rhythm is internal actions. So what am I doing to continue lighting that fire of inner transformation? And what am I doing to continue feeling and embodying the felt sense of who I am becoming? Rhythm also includes stillness. So again, like I crave quiet. And in the Christmas break here, there's not a lot of quiet in my house. So what do I do? How do I create my rhythm throughout the day, my movements and actions throughout the day to provide myself stillness? And then rest. I love rest. I love waking up late on a Saturday morning. That's another essential component. When I gave myself permission to rest and have lazy times, I am so excited to get back into my work when it's time. I think there's a fear of resting because it's a fear that like we won't ever get anything done or get back to work. But the more I allow myself to rest, the more I have a deeper excitement and connection to creativity. So that's a very important component of rhythm. So what I want you to reflect on is the power in your rhythm. So what rhythms are you currently agreeing to? Seeing what's already in place, school. What time do you have to wake up to take the kids to school? Are they going to school? On the days that they're not, or if they're homeschooled, like what does your rhythm look like? What rhythm am I relating with as a victim? So this is, again, reflecting on your powerlessness in the relationship that you have with time specifically. And then within rhythm, we get to create a new concept of time where we get to decide how long it takes to complete something. And again, create that structure for our brain. Say, hey, I've got an hour to work and I need to get this done. Brain, intuition, let's innovate and get it done. So this is what's possible when you become the leader and the self-authorizing character of your own rhythm in life. And then the other thing to note about rhythm is that it is continually evolving throughout seasons, throughout phases of life, throughout phases of our children's lives. So allowing yourself to be flexible with those rhythms is also important and an area for refinement and attunement. Trying something out, seeing how it goes, reassessing, shifting a little bit as needed. So my question for you, now that we have covered all of the 6 elements of the wheel of power, and you have an understanding of the 3 phases or the 3 stages of embodying your power to create who you need to be to have the thing that you desire in the way that you want it. Inner transformation, stage 1. Stage 2 is manifesting that through inspired and innovative action. Stage 3 is attunement, refinement, making it better, more delicious, more powerful. How would you love to complete this process? How do you want to complete this process? When I asked myself this question, when I set my most recent goal, and I look at my future self and I ask, how did you do this? What felt good to you? How do I want to go through this process and this growth journey? And my answer was with support, with guidance, with mentorship, in community. Sometimes I love being in community and sometimes I love my aloneness too. But that might be something really important to you. So the other piece of this is I want to create with the power of mother. So I want you to go through this wheel of power and what you've learned and see that you have an invitation right now to shatter the paradigm that motherhood equals sacrifice. Because there is a deep, deep power of mother. So I am inviting you to use the power of mother to create everything you desire. It is generations of mothers and daughters. It is our commitment to our future generations and our respect and willingness to heal past generations. Oh gosh, I'm getting goosebumps. This is the power of mother. And it is our connection, our deep, innate connection to Mother Earth, the creator. So powerful. You get to tap into this power to create everything that you desire. These are things like nurturing, compassion, love, teaching, right? You teach your children, leading, boundaries, healing. All of these things are components of being mother that you get to use in your business to create everything that you want and in your life, right? Amazing. Okay, if you're feeling the chills, then come with me to part 5, the last video. And this is where I'm going to invite you to create a massive transformation in community in the Intuitive Hearts Collective. So if you answered that question of how do I want to complete this process, and you want mentorship and guidance, or you want community, then check this out or check some other place out. I want you to acknowledge your answer to that question and act upon it. If you want support, it doesn't have to be with me, but find some place that you get to give yourself that support wherever it is, whatever resonates with you most, whatever you're a yes to. But if you want support, then give yourself that gift. Give yourself what you want. If you're curious about how I can support you, then let's go and learn about the Intuitive Hearts Collective. If you're already a yes, I want to know more, I'm in, then you can go ahead and schedule a discovery session with me, and we'll just go over the details and make sure that you are ready for this program, and we are ready to welcome you, that we have space available and all of that good stuff. And if you want to continue on and schedule the discovery session, do that too. I will see you in the next video.